Hi, I'm Gregg Sarra with your Newsday High School Sports Spotlight. Let's kick things off with some exciting championship football games. First up, Suffolk's Conference 3 battle between Seville and West Hampton Beach. The undefeated Golden Flashes, they put on a show with their running game. Quarterback Jack Cheshire hands it off to Thomas Sia Jr. He goes 11 yards for the score early in the first quarter. And then it was Seville's defense. They're also getting it done. How about defensive end Max Llewellyn tackles a West Hampton back in the end zone. The safety puts the Golden Flashes up 9-0. Jack Cheshire usually uses his arm to torch opponents, but not this time. It's all about the legs. He goes 5 yards on the quarterback keep for the touchdown. It was one of his 2 rushing TDs of the game. The Hurricanes, they managed to get on the board late. Gavin McIntyre gets the handoff, goes up the sideline, and to the end zone. West Hampton, they get the extra point. But it was too little, too late. Seville, they get to celebrate for the second year in a row. The final on this one, 32-7. The victory gives Seville its second straight Conference 3 title. Next up, the battle for the Suffolk Conference 4 title, Sharm Wading River versus Mount Sinai. Sharm, they unleashed its secret weapon. That weapon, it was the hammer, Jake Wilson. Here Wilson powers through the middle for a 1-yard touchdown run. Wilson, a defensive end by trade, he hadn't been used all season on offense. But the Mustangs, they fire right back. Quarterback Joe Spallina puts the ball up. Despite having 2 defenders on him, wide receiver Derek Takis, he comes down with it in the end zone. Add the extra point, and both teams go into halftime tied at 14. In the second half, it was more of Jake Wilson. Here he takes the handoff and bulls through the pile. Barely gets into the end zone. Touchdown. Sharm Wading River, they add the extra point, 21-14 Wildcats. The icing on the cake for Wilson and Sharm Wading River. How about this fourth quarter run? Quarterback Chris Vicentin hands off to Wilson. He bounces it outside and leaves the defense in the dust. Wilson goes 50 yards for the score. Not bad for a defensive end. He ended up with 4 touchdowns on the day. The Wildcats, they win a 3rd straight conference title. The final, 34-20. After the game, I spoke with the hammer Jake Wilson and coach Aiden Smith.
This is the 3rd consecutive year we've played them in the county championship. They threw everything they had at us, and we were able to respond and hold on and get the victory. So, I'm happy for the kids. I'm happy for the community. I'm happy for, the entire Sharm Wading River program.
They've been our rivals all year, and both great competitive teams. And, once again, I'm just blessed and fortunate to even be in the position to be competing for a championship and go out on top as a senior.
That's a great job. Now let's look at some of our plays of the week. How about West Islip fullback Conrad McKechnie? Bam! Runs through the Bellport defense for a 20-yard touchdown in the first quarter and the 7-0 lead. Then West Islip's Ryan Behrens. He goes around the right end and into the end zone to cap an 8-play, 92-yard drive with a 14-yard run. 6 minutes left in the game and the Lions lead 17-14. And how's this for clutch? Trailing 21-17, West Islip's Joe Costantino uses the play fake and lofts a 14-yard touchdown strike to a wide-open Nolan Walters with 27 seconds left on the clock, and that iced the 24-21 comeback win over Bellport for the Suffolk Conference 2 championship. We go to MacArthur quarterback Ryan Muller. He throws a 20-yard play-action touchdown pass to Matt Papich in the 3rd quarter of their Nassau Conference 2 semifinal. MacArthur goes on to beat Southside 28-7. Now to the Nassau Conference 4 semifinal between North Shore and Cold Spring Harbor. Philip LaRosa gets the ball, breaks 1 tackle in the middle of the field, then bounces off another defender and manages to power his way into the end zone. The Vikings, they shut out Cold Spring Harbor 21-0. Check out Tyler Martini. He goes for a 21-yard touchdown. Watch this, giving Wantar a 12-8 second quarter lead. Martini, he finished with 227 yards and 3 touchdowns. Previously unbeaten Seaford, they lose 45-22 to Wantar in the Nassau Conference 4 semifinal. All defenders dream about that pick 6. How about Logan Munoz? Grabbed 2 interceptions, including this one. He returned 25 yards for a score. Center Each, they beat Smithtown East 42-15. And Mighty Joe Young ran for 223 yards and 2 touchdowns this week, but none was bigger than this 55-yarder to the house to give Babylon a 2-score lead in its 22-7 victory over Glenn. Now for some boys soccer. Tied at 1 in overtime. Mineola gets the corner kick, and Sam Onho gets his foot on the ball in front of the net, and he makes it count. Mineola, they come out on top of Jericho 2-1. To all the coaches who send in their videos, you make this show what it is. Now let's dive into some Suffolk Girls Swimming Championships. Teams from across the county gathered at Stony Brook University over the weekend to find out who is the best in the county. No doubt about who's the best in the 100 breaststroke. Denise Fallon set a new county record, finishing the race in 1 minute and 1 second. That shattered the old county record, which was also set by the Northport Comac standout back in 2019. Ward Melville, well, they ended up winning the overall team championship with 290 points. They celebrated with their coach a little dip in the pool. It's the district's 4th straight title. Congratulations to the squad. Well, that'll do it for this week's Sports Spotlight. I'm Gregg Sarra. Thanks for watching. And remember, for all your high school sports action, just go to Newsday.com.